All right, joining us now, she really needs no introduction. Roseanne Barr is with us. Roseanne, thanks for coming. Good to see you.
Thanks for having me, Sean.
All right. You sent this tweet out.
Yeah. Actually, I was hacked. No, I'm kidding.
You're kidding. You haven't lost your sense of humor. You started out as a comedian. Well, I want to talk about your background and everything, but I want to get right to it. Muslim Brotherhood, Planet of the Apes, you're talking about Valerie Jarrett.
Yeah.
And obviously, you can't. What were you thinking when you said that? I know you said people shouldn't defend you.
Oh, I just didn't want to get into the whole game of it. That is a political tweet. And, you know, I've been on Twitter for a long time, and I'm always, let's put it this way. I walked away in 2012 when I ran for president of the Socialist Party. And I saw for myself that it wasn't where my values were at, after all. And I began to read more and expand the little tiny bit of sanctioned news that I used to read. Instead, I started reading alternate opinions. I learned more, and so I corrected myself. And now I live, and I told ABC this at the beginning, I will always defend Israel, because I'm a Jew, and I also have family that lives there.
In Israel?
Yeah. So that is a tweet about asking for accountability from the previous administration about the Iran deal, which Valerie Jarrett is the author of, and that was what was in my head.
Okay, let's go back to, you do understand.
Now I do.
Did you not understand when you tweeted it out?
No, I was so shocked that they...
Let me ask you, what do you understand?
Well, I don't understand a lot, to tell you the truth. The first thing was shock that they were saying it was racial when it's political. And that was a hard one to take. And then everybody started saying I was a racist, which is like the worst thing that you can call a Jewish person, especially one who, like me, grew up with Holocaust survivors. And at age 3, because of that fact, I took a vow to my God that I would always fight extremism on either side, right or left. And for a long time, I thought I was fighting it on the right by being really left. And then I just slowly woke up and saw that both extremes are not where my values are. My values are in the middle. And I believe that we have the right to ask for accountability for where our tax money goes. And when I ran for president in 2012, I ran as the representative of the Black Caucus of the Green Party. And they trusted me so much. Black people chose me. And I was humbled by that. And I ran on an anti-racist, you know, Clinton's drug wars, and what that means, that 1 in every 4 African-American males are in prison for pot, and lesser. I mean, it's just, I'm very informed. I'm not, you know, I've always been political. My comedy is political.
Do you see now?
Yeah.
What, in other words, what I guess I'm trying to ascertain, Roseanne, is that the reaction was universal.
Well, it seemed that way.
And, well, in many ways it was. What do you see about it now? I mean, in other words, I know you tweeted out apologies.
Yeah,
this is an opportunity to really talk to people.
Well, I've apologized a lot. It's been 2 months, and I feel that I have apologized and explained and asked for forgiveness and made recompense. That's part of my religion.
You said that to Rabbi Shmuley.
Yeah, because there's 4 parts of being forgiven in order to come back into your own good graces. And I was so sad that people thought it was racist. And then I went into the whole thing about the whole discussion of racism, and that blew my mind because it's so much a part of what the show I was doing was about, And I'm like, why can they not see my work? And then I got really messed up thinking, in this world, it seems as if words matter more than actions, but in the real life world, actions matter more than words. And my actions over 30 years as an artist and a comedian, I've always been against the abuse of power towards all marginalized groups. But now I feel like both the left and the right have marginalized the middle. And it's just too crazy. And the thing that broke my heart the most, I have to say this, is that I have African-American children in my family and in my loved circle.
In your immediate family?
Yeah, and in my loving circle, and Asians too, and Hispanic people. And Jews get around, let's put it like that. But I felt so bad for those kids because I love them, and I don't want them to think of me like that, you know? And I know, and I was so sad, and I'm so sad that anyone thinks that of me, but I'm not that person. And I was going through a very hard time. You know, how would you like it to be sitting in a room with 25 people who think Trump is the worst thing that's ever happened to the United States? How would you like it? Could you do your job?
It happens to me every day.
Really?
Yeah, there are a lot of people that don't like what I have to say.
In your circle?
Oh, I don't know if you read a lot about Sean Hannity, but this isn't
I
about
do,
me.
but
here's what I really...
people that work on your show are like that?
There's plenty of people around here that disagree with every word I say and hate what I stand for. Absolutely. Disagree adamantly with me. But, you know, I signed up. I give strong opinions, and some people disagree, but I have no problem with people disagreeing. Here's what I
don't either, but that's what upset me so badly, because I like to hear all sides. That's how I form a story.
Oh, I have a whole list of stuff you said about Republicans and Catholics, of which, you know, both...
I've said it about everybody. Listen, I hate everyone equally.
But obviously you're kidding.
No, but everybody deserves to be joked about.
Here's what I want to get to the bottom.
Anybody who's in any kind of position of power deserves to have a joke about them. And if they can't laugh at themselves, then that means something. If you can't laugh at yourself first before you start laughing at everybody else, that means something.
Isn't that how you started your career? By the domestic goddess?
Yeah.
And you poke a lot of fun at yourself?
I tell more jokes about myself than I do anybody else, because to me, comedy is very personal. That's what makes it funny. That's what made people like the Roseanne show, because they saw themselves in, or had an aunt, or, you know, their mom or their sister. Somebody in their family was, you know, a loud, outspoken woman who loved her family. And that was what I was so excited about to come back to television, was to show that that family is also multiracial and lives next door to Muslims whose ideas they don't agree with. That was what I brought to television and what kicked everybody's ass in the ratings, and they should be so lucky that they'll ever get anywhere near that. And they can't take that away from me no matter what's happened.
I guess this is an opportunity. There are a lot of people, Roseanne, that are not on social media.
Yeah.
Maybe haven't read your apologies.
Yeah, they're smart.
I can put, well, they probably, are you off now, Twitter forever?
Well, my kids took it away from me forever.
Well, you could always get another phone. But here's, I think, a very important thing. For those people, though, and I'll put up some of the apologies here that you have tweeted out, but there are still a lot of people that look at that comment and they think that they cannot believe that you didn't know better.
Yeah, I know, but I did.
But I want you to address that. Address those people.
You know, I made a mistake, obviously. It cost me everything, my life's work, everything. I made a mistake, and I've paid the price for it. But no, I did not know she was, like a lot of Americans, including a lot of people of all types, they didn't know either.
I mean, I read that you said that you didn't, and you had this crazy video this week. What was that?
I was so mad. Well, I was filming this thing to, you know, my real apology, which followed it. But everybody was like, well, you're not addressing this correctly. And so I just lost it, and everybody started laughing. So I go, put it up there.
All right.
Because it was a joke.
Valerie Jarrett is watching now.
Oh, she said she wouldn't watch.
She said she wouldn't, but she'll hear about it.
Yeah.
So my question is, I want you to address her. Because she was, and maybe not just her, but maybe people in the community that are so outraged about it. I want you to address them from your heart and tell them.
Here's what I have to say. Let's talk about it. Let's really turn this into a teachable moment. We need to talk about race and everything that's connected to it, including not knowing that someone who's looks like me, her skin tone is like mine, and I'm brown. I didn't know she was African American. I assume because she was, from Iran and lived in Iran for such a long time, and writes about how she and Barack Obama hung out for a long time, and the reason they were so tight and such friends is because they don't like the idea of American exceptionalism. They like that, every country has its own culture and we should respect them and this and that. Okay, that's kind of a globalist way of thinking, but I'm like, I can talk to people like that. But I don't think a state that kills gays and, stones rape victims, and is a brutal, where people don't even have drinking water and they have no rights, women have no rights. I don't think that is like America. America's not like that. America is a place where I, a loudmouthed, old, gorgeous Jewish woman, comedian, am allowed freedom of speech.
Is this the freedom of speech you wanted to use?
Well, of course, I look back and go, come on, Sean, get real. I mean, it cost me everything. No, I wish I had worded it better. But I'm not going to let them tell me what I meant. And that's what makes me so mad, because I know myself and I will speak for myself. And I won't have, any people who don't share my culture tell me what I meant. And, they've called me racist on the left for a long time, ever since I said the Jewish people have a right to live in their ancestral homeland. That's racism to them, to the far left, of which I used to be one of. But I don't want to be one of few. I want to be one of many, because I like the whole thing about America, that this is where we have a melting pot and we speak to each other and we unite and we get common things such as, where in the hell did our tax money go? I mean, where did it go? And how can a president just ship pallets of cash to another country without that going through Congress?
You didn't say this in the beginning. You didn't say this was about Iran.
I did, too. I'm on there every damn day talking about Iran for 10 years.
This particular comment about...
Well, are you going to take one comment out of a conversation?
I'm not arguing with you. I'm trying to give you a chance.
No, I'm just saying, but that is what they did. And this was a continuing conversation about the rights of people in Iran to throw off their overlords.
I guess what I'm listening to you is, like I said, if you talk to Valerie Jarrett directly.
I would say this, Valerie, let's discuss this. Don't assume that you know what I meant, because I think you don't know what I meant, and I would like to make it clearer to you what I did mean. And I would like to find a way past all that to really discuss the issue at hand and to try to find common ground between us.
Would you want to say sorry to her directly? Would you like to talk to her?
Well, I have already.
Have you talked to her? You haven't talked to her?
No, I haven't called her, because I was like thinking what would be the right thing to say. To call her?
Yeah.
You think I'm afraid she'd start screaming and throw the phone down.
Well, if I had her number and I handed the phone to you right now, what was the first thing you'd say to her?
Well, do you? You want to do it?
No, I'm asking because maybe...
I'll call her if anybody's got her number.
Anyone got her number? No, nobody. But if you did, call her. And I think it's the important thing. You're saying you want to talk about issues, and this is a bigger picture and a teachable moment. I would think the first thing you'd want to do, if it was me, I would want to say, I want her to hear my voice say, I am so sorry. And I know you've tweeted it, and I know you said it, but now that you have a very different perspective on the comments, I would assume you'd want to start there.
Well, I already have said I'm sorry for 2 months.
No, I know that, but you'd want to say it directly to her is what I'm asking.
Oh, yeah. If she was on the phone or something, you mean?
No.
Yeah, well, she's not. But if she's watching, I'm so sorry that you thought I was racist and that you thought that my tweet was racist, because it wasn't. It was political. And I'm sorry for the misunderstanding that caused my ill-worded tweet. And, you know, I'm sorry that you feel harmed and hurt. I never meant that. And for that, I apologize. I never meant to hurt anybody or say anything negative about an entire race of people, which I think 30 years of my work can attest to.
Let me go beyond that and just talk about...
Plus, I tell her she's got to get a new haircut. I mean, seriously, she needs a new haircut.
People say that about me all the time, so I'm surprised. I would imagine you'd say that about me.
Yeah, I would.
Think so?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, anything particular
Because I think your
want?
part, it needs to go over more towards this side. The part seems like it's in the middle too much.
Let me ask this. This also impacted, and I knew that you tweeted out, there was the whole... This was the biggest, I actually have the numbers, I think after they watched with DVR viewing, 27 million people. I mean, this is not...
Yeah, and of course I want to apologize to all of them, too, and say, you know, you've heard my explanation, the first part of this show, and I hope you'll try to understand me and accept my apologies for the part in this big misunderstanding.
Let me ask you, you also did it at like 2:30 in the morning?
Yeah.
You were on Ambien?
Yeah.
Were you drinking?
Yeah, I told you that. It was Memorial Day. I had 2 beers.
Just 2?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you take Ambien a lot?
I can't drink.
Do you take
2 beers? Mm-mm.
And there's a whole other...
There was a whole lot of other physical things going on in my life, too. Now, do you want me to talk about that?
Well, I've actually...
I actually have
read
it right
a lot
here.
about... Yeah, I just saw what you did. Okay. I've read a lot about you, and it's actually... I didn't know all of this.
Oh.
You have said in the past, you said once to Larry King that you suffer from multiple personality disorder.
Well, I don't suffer from it anymore.
You don't?
I enjoy it.
You enjoy multiple personality?
Now.
Okay. And you said that, well, you just do crazy things and you don't really know you do or don't want to do.
Well,
does that still happen in your life?
No.
Or?
Well, I guess it does if you're drunk.
You called it... do you get drunk a lot? Do you have a substance
No,
abuse?
I know. No.
You also once said...
I'd love to develop it, though.
You'd love to develop
an
alcoholic?
Drinking,
You like drinking. You wish you could drink. You just said you can't drink.
I know. I have no tolerance.
I take 3 kinds of antidepressants every day.
Yeah. No, 2 kinds now.
2 kinds.
One's a blood pressure pill, so that's 3.
Okay.
I take an antidepressant and a blood pressure pill, and then I take some more antidepressants.
Then I read in the Seattle Times when you were out promoting your book, this is in 1994, your father abused you sexually.
Well, that I'm
Your
not.
mother psychologically, that you would cover yourself in ketchup, lie on the floor, play dead until little Roseanne cried because of allegations your parents would deny they...
No, that's wrong. I put the ketchup on, laid on the floor for a joke, for when my mom came in and she'd think I was dead.
How old were you when you were sexually abused?
Well, now I have a whole different view of that.
You don't think you were sexually abused?
I think I was emotionally abused. And
You said your mother's psychological, your father's sexual.
yeah, everybody in my whole family's messed up.
Do you think you really... Serious question. Because you've said in multiple interviews that you had multiple personality disorder.
Yeah.
So I guess the question then is, do you think that any of this plays into... Like, I have some you've had crazy moments. Let's just be honest. We'll call it what it is.
Well, you shouldn't call a mental health patient crazy.
Okay, you've had some very...
In fact, that's one funny thing that Tom Arnold said. Never call a crazy person crazy.
Crazy? Oh. And that's an interesting
But I have
story.
mental health issues. Yeah.
How are you... How bad have this gotten for you with that?
Terrible.
How bad? Tell people.
As bad as it gets.
You ever institutionalized?
Honey, that's like going to the beach for me.
Seriously,
I've been hospitalized a lot. Yeah, several times. Yes.
Do you think, in a lot of ways, I love comedians. I've watched everyone from Richard Pryor. I watched Chris Rock. I watched every stand-up comedian. I watched you and everybody. And it seems, and I might be way off base saying this, and if I am, tell me, that the creative
You're
genius...
way off base.
Thank you.
No, okay.
The creative genius for comedians, it's like their blessing is their curse. It's like they have this ability to be funny, but...
And being a creative genius.
No, I'm serious.
No, but I know I am. But anyway, no, but I am.
No, you're a domestic goddess.
Yeah.
Understood.
That part of your psyche or brain is really close to the madness. They're very close.